Hey YouTube, hey everyone, it is Elf Angel. Um, I thought I'd do a video tonight talking about the new moon and what the new moon or the dark moon and what the new moon or the dark moon represent in my cultural beliefs. For myself, anyways, the new moon represents for me the time when the power of grandmother, who we call in our culture, Notwatogan. So it is a time where we celebrate grandmother Notwatogan. And in my culture, she is a of spirit of wisdom. She is a spirit of wisdom. She is a spirit, a medicine woman spirit. And she is a medicine woman spirit, and she is also the spirit that looks after all two-spirited people, as well as women and children. Like I said, she is a medicine woman spirit, and she is also known in other cultures as a witch spirit. Us First Nations Wicca people that practiced our culture as well as the First Nations culture, we deemed the name First Nations Wicca. And I've come up with my own version because I found that some parts of Wicca did not work for me, so I just started studying more of a witchcraft study more than Wicca now. So I call it for First Nations witchcraft, which to me, a lot of our First Nations, First Nations and our Native American beliefs are to do with witchcraft, anyways. So I see it as both. Most people probably see it differently, but when you really study when you really live the First Nations culture, you're really actually living a life of witchcraft, a life of magic, especially as a two-spirited person, for those that follow the path anyways. Now, what I'm doing tonight is I am making sage bundles to celebrate this new moon, to celebrate new beginnings, as well as to get myself prepared for Samhain that is coming up, and to get ready for the winter months that are coming. Now, this is a very old practice that was done years and years and years ago, for thousands of years, even more than that. Since the beginning of time is what we're told. That to prepare ourselves before the winter months come. So by preparing yourself, especially as a medicine man or medicine woman, you would be preparing your medicines for the winter months to come, because no plants grow outside. Well, I shouldn't say no plants, but most plants don't grow outside. And we also get it, especially in modern times, we get ready for any sicknesses that may be coming into our homes and into our lives and into our families' lives as well too, and our loved ones. So I always tell my clients, I always get prepared every year now for the winter months to come, because there is a lot of sickness and viruses that are around. And personally, I do not like getting sick, so I prepare myself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, as much as I can, and mentally even as much as I can before the winter months come. Now, what I was saying in the other videos is that our winter months are very much also known as our grandfather months. Our grandfather is the snow. In our culture, in the Plains Cree culture, we call it Guna. I know right now, at this time of year, a lot of people don't want to be uttering his name because they don't want to call upon grandfather to come too early. But you can't live your life in fear just because you do not understand whatever it is you're afraid of. I myself, I celebrate every season, so I go with the flow, and I'm very happy when grandfather Guna comes every year, because it also shows that he destroys any sicknesses that are released into the environments, because most bacteria and most viruses cannot live in a cold weather. As well as some animals that are dangerous to humans cannot be in a cold weather. I'm very happy as well for winter because there's no mosquitoes. Because if you know me personally, I do not like mosquitoes. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing tonight, is I'm getting prepared for the winter. I'm getting prepared for Samhain, which is Halloween. It is the witches' holiday that we celebrate every year on October 31st. I myself, and then my personal practice is I celebrate every holiday for 4 days and 4 nights. And so Samhain will fall on October 31st. And then it goes into November 1st, November 2nd, and then I celebrate November 3rd as well too. As well as I also celebrate October 30th in there as well too. Can't forget about that. So I like to honor my spirit guides. I like to honor my past loved ones, my ancestors who passed on. Like, their physical bodies aren't here, but then their spirit remains. And I use them in my spiritual work whenever I need them. So that's what I'm doing tonight, is creating sage bundles and thinking about the new moon tonight. A new moon, I forgot to mention, the new moon represents grandmother, like I said, and it also represents new beginnings. So tonight I am creating new beginnings by creating new medicine before the winter months come, as well as creating new energies in my work. So that's what I'm doing. So there is one sage bundle that I've done. So far tonight I have done three sage bundles, and I'm going to be continuing to make more tonight. Now, what I've noticed as well too is that within my First Nations communities, I'm not going to say names which ones, but within my First Nations communities, there's not a lot of people pick their own medicines nowadays. You know, their own herbal medicines, which to me I find very strange, because I grew up, learning about the local herbs, all the local medicines, I should say. Being animal medicine, plant medicine, stone medicine, spirit medicine, and mineral medicine, metal medicine. Sorry, I'm just counting as I'm doing this. and all these different kinds of medicines out there. I grew up in that, and I always thought that everybody grew up like that. I lived a very isolated childhood, and I was very lucky to be raised like that. Actually, now when I think about it, the way a lot of our cultural beliefs and cultural ways of living have changed in years. It's kind of sad in some parts of the way change has happened over the years, but then change is good for all of us, no matter, especially if it's in a positive change. But what actually happened within our First Nations culture, I know with my tribe, anyways, and my area, is that a lot of it had to become more modernized, and a little more open to the world, I guess you could say, in order for it to stay alive. So there's days where I really do miss the old ways of doing things, but at the same time too, I'm very grateful that our culture has survived this long, in so many ways and so many styles. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. When sage is burned, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm working with the prairie sage. Now, when sage is burned, you burn it to chase away evil spirits, as most of you know. And you also burn it to chase away sickness within the home and area. In our cultures, we believe that sickness is caused from evil spirits. So when you burn the sage in your home or within your area, you're actually driving away evil spirits, and in that case, you're also driving away bad luck, and you're driving away sickness. The sickness is caused from evil spirits. And so that's what I'm getting prepared for, is for those reasons. But I was gonna say is that most people nowadays don't pick their own medicines, and like I said, I find that to be very, very strange to me, because I'm very, very close to nature, and I live my life by nature. I haven't always done so. There was a time in my life where I stepped away from my culture, and I didn't want anything to do with my culture and or my traditions. And I became very unbalanced as a person, and I started doing a lot of drinking and doing drugs, and I was very much in a dark place in my life at that time, very close to death, and when I came back to my culture and my traditions, I rediscovered myself, and I really, really rediscovered myself that as a two-spirited person, and as a two-spirited person, what that means to me, and what that means for my culture. What a two-spirited person is we are we are part of the LGBTQ community, and in our culture we're believed to have to be born with two spirits. Not two genders, but two spirits. A male and female. So a male energy and a female energy. So that's what a two-spirited means. Now, anybody that's of First Nations descent, that is a part of the LGBTQ community, could call themselves a two-spirited person, but a Dene elder, a two-spirited Dene elder, once told me that a real two-spirited person holds their traditions and their culture in high regard and lives the traditions and culture. There is at least 4 or 5 different ways of finding out you are a true two-spirited person, which I'm not going to go to in this video because that's just a totally different subject altogether. This video is just me rambling on about the new moon and what my plans were for tonight originally for the new moon and why my plans have changed and so on. Tonight I planned on doing a full new moon ceremony with a couple other people within my nations here, and I was super swamped with work all day, working on some herbal products from the herbal products for my home business, Elf Angels Creations, and working on products for the Ancestors Wild Berries and Herbs products. And like I said, I became super swamped. I actually had, what was it now, 6, 7, 8, 9 parcels this week. It was supposed to be 10, but 9 for sure parcels this week being sent out to surrounding areas such as Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, and British Columbia here in Canada. The 10th parcel, I'm still waiting for the client to get a hold of me. The 10th parcel is going towards Florida in the United States.
So it's your friend's birthday. How do you find
So I'm very, very grateful for that.
the Amazon app and let it find you. Just seen your mom reading that book your friend's been talking about? Scan the barcode, buy it with one click, and you'll get regular delivery updates.
Commercials on YouTube are so annoying. There, so that's another bundle made. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and instead of, like I said, instead of doing a full-blown ceremony with the local people here, I decided to keep it more of a private event tonight, and work on my medicines and get myself prepared for the winter months, and to get myself prepared as well for more orders that are coming on a weekend, because I know for a fact that the word of mouth is spreading about the herbal products and the herbal products of the Ancestors Wild Berries and Herbs and the natural energy healing products. Word of mouth is spreading rapidly about the products. That, you know, they're very, very good, and that, from what the clients have told me across Canada and United States, is they said it's very hard to find First Nations owned businesses, and especially First Nations owned businesses that are that have gone public, I guess you could say, in the spiritual communities. Now, what I always let everyone know that, it took me years and years and years to go public as a First Nations witch, as a First Nations, some people prefer me, I mean, some people call me a medicine man and stuff, but I do not call myself that, because I'm very humble in that way. But the reason why I went public as a First Nations medicine man, as a First Nations witch, is the spirits told me to do it. They said it was time for me to go public, and that my people needed it. My First Nations people, I should say, needed it, especially my two-spirited brothers and sisters out there that are, trying to find out how they fit in with the cultures, I should say, and how they fit into the traditions of old, and how they can relearn, rediscover who they are as a two-spirited person, and how gifted we are within, by Creator. And so that was, one of the reasons why I was told to go public. And another reason was because there is such a high rate of sickness within our First Nations communities. And the list is long, going into diabetes, heart disease, heart attacks, cancers, obesity, depression, anxiety, suicide, addictions such as drugs and alcohol. The list goes on and on and on. So all different kinds of abuses that happening right now. So that was part of the reason why the spirits have told me to go public in my ways that I live on a daily basis, and to help as much as I can, and however I can, with the people that need the help. Because not everybody out there needs spiritual help, or they just prefer to not get spiritual help from a First Nations witch. But I have a lot of clients that are out there that would prefer help from First Nations witch, because we have been around for thousands of years, and us, when our physical bodies die, our spirit lives, and we're able to come back in one form or another to help our people in every generation after the next. And some beliefs about that are different per culture and per tribe or clan, depending on your region. So I want to say to one of my clients out there, I know I was supposed to do a YouTube video talking about your dad and about who your dad is and your cultural background stuff, which I'll probably do a short video after this talking a bit about that. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing in one video, just because I'm a little distracted at the moment. But I'll definitely be talking about that tonight for you, because I know you've been waiting for months for that YouTube video, and you're very, very patient with me, because you know that I was in the middle of a herbal harvest, which I kind of still am, but I'm just in the process now of getting all the medicines prepared, like I said, for the winter months and for Samhain. But if you guys were to see the pile of medicines I have to work with before Samhain, it's almost impossible. Which I know nothing is impossible, but it's almost impossible just because of the fact that I work with herbal like I said, I work with my ancestors' wild berries and herbs products. I do First Nation psychic readings. I do the natural energy healing. I work with the mystical research group, which is a paranormal group I work with. I also work with the Magical Medicines Tribe. The Magical Medicines Tribe, which is a secret group on Facebook that are also fellow witches, Native American fellow witches, and magical practitioners, or just people that are just interested in learning some of the ways of a First Nations witch and what we do and things like that. I've been in out of the group for a while. I usually post as much as I can, whenever I can, about little updates that are going on in my life, or new products that are are taking place within Elf Angels Creations, because some people, some practitioners really love the products, and they really like to keep updated on the latest of the latest. So I do that for them as well too, as much as I can. So I'm thinking here that I am going to cut this video now, and then I'm going to do 2 other videos if I can. And try and come up with something to talk about. Well, I have to talk about, there's another sage bundle. I have to talk about one of my clients' dad's situation, and so hopefully you'll all stay tuned for that. I know these videos are a little boring, but bear with me. Like I said, that I am a little distracted tonight. It's because I'm doing herbal work, and like I said, I've been super busy with getting other products ready, which I'll talk about in the other video. And dealing with different clientele on a daily basis, which hasn't been the easiest thing, because I have a day job here at the local school, and I haven't been to my day job in almost 2 weeks now, because my business has been keeping me super busy and super booked. And my clients, are very important to me. I treat them just as much like I treat them like family. So when they need help, or they need someone to talk to, or whatever the situation be, I really take the time to sit down and listen to them. And to, we learn from each other. We really, really learn from each other, because, I learn more about their cultures, and they learn about my culture, and then we get to cross-reference a lot of the times of what our cultures are going through and what our people are going through in general. And not all of my clients are First Nations. A lot of them are from all over. Oops. I just had a root go flying. A lot of them are from all over the world. So you can imagine I do get quite busy with phone calls and emails and inboxes and texts, and sometimes Twitter or Instagram. I get busy on there as well too, and Snapchat. Tumbler is not so busy as much. People ask me to also go on Google Hangouts, I believe it's called, to go on there as well too, and I got to collaborate with some more YouTube channels and YouTube what are they called? Content creators. Because I've been away from YouTube for a while, but I'm just recently started getting back into the flow of things and making videos again, and revamping my whole YouTube. So I'll just stop the video here now, and then I'll talk about my client's father. The next video I'm going to be doing is more of a reading video. I'm going to be tapping into ancestral knowledge tonight, using the energy of grandmother, Notakwatogan, Nukum no Notakwatogan, which means my grandmother, medicine woman. I'm going to be tapping into her energy, and I'm going to be using that energy to help find answers to my client's questions about her father that she never got to meet in person. So it's kind of like it's kind of like I said, she's been waiting for months for this. That's why I'm going to be doing it. And tonight she is sitting patiently waiting for the video to be uploaded. So I'm going to take the time and energy to do that for her. And I really appreciate and really, really appreciate you. I'm not going to say your name on here, but I really appreciate you because you have great questions and you really respect the fact that I share my content with the world. And, you definitely inspire me, greatly inspire me. So I want to say a big thank you to you, and I'll definitely let you know on Facebook once the video is uploaded tonight. So I'm just going to quickly tie this sage here, and then I'll start the other video. And like I said, I'll be doing more videos throughout the month, talking about new products that have come up, and more of the sacred sites field trips that we do on the weekends. This weekend I won't be doing any that I know of. I'll be in different ceremony situations this weekend, and meeting other medicine men and other medicine women. So that's what I mean, that by me taking times like this where I could sit down and do YouTube videos and work on herbal medicines and all that is my downtime, basically. Because on the weekend, every weekend, I'm super busy with ceremony and healing and all that stuff. Okay, so I'll be right back, you guys. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, put a thumbs up, let me know, and comment below if you have any questions or concerns or whatever you want to comment. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And for those of you that want to learn more about me, you could always find me under Facebook under Elf Angels Creations. I have a business page on there. My website is www.elfangelscreations.ca. And then all the links are there as well too. So have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.